Fire Type Bravo, Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, cardiac arrest.
So, early this morning, news came out that Hulk Hogan has passed away. Yeah, you heard that right. Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest names in wrestling history.
Rescue 46, LR 45, Engine 46, Fire Type Bravo.
The man with the handlebar mustache, the bandana, the ripped shirts, and those famous catchphrases like, "What you gonna do, brother?" That Hulk Hogan. This is someone who wasn't just a wrestler, he was a pop culture icon. People who didn't even watch wrestling still knew who Hulk Hogan was. His face was on t-shirts, lunch boxes, action figures, and even cartoons back in the day. He was everywhere. Now let's break this all down. Who he was, why he mattered, what happened, and how people are reacting today. So buckle up, because we're going on a full journey through the life and legacy of Hulk Hogan. So first, let's go back. Hulk Hogan was born Terry Bollea. But let's be real, almost nobody called him that. The world knew him as Hulk. He started wrestling in the late 1970s, but it was in the 1980s that he blew up. He joined the World Wrestling Federation, what people now call WWE, and he became their biggest star. I'm talking sold-out arenas, kids wearing his shirts, people copying his moves. He was larger than life, literally. The guy was over 6 feet tall, super muscular, and always full of energy. Hulk Hogan helped turn wrestling into something way bigger than it had ever been before. Before him, wrestling was popular, but it wasn't mainstream. Hulk made it cool. He brought wrestling into the homes of families who had never watched it before. He starred in movies, did commercials, and even had his own Saturday morning cartoon show. This man was the face of wrestling for a whole generation. And you know what made him so popular? It was more than just his strength or his wrestling skills. It was his personality. Hulk Hogan had this way of connecting with the crowd. He was always talking about training, saying your prayers, and believing in yourself. He was like a superhero in the ring, and kids loved that. Adults loved that. He had this energy that pulled you in. One of the biggest moments in his career was in 1984, when he beat the Iron Sheik and won the WWF Championship for the first time. That was the beginning of what people call Hulkamania. It was wild. People were wearing yellow and red. They were flexing like him, tearing their shirts, and chanting, "Hogan! Hogan!" Wrestling had never seen anything like it. But Hulk's career wasn't just in the 80s. He kept going strong in the 90s too. That's when he shocked everyone and turned into a villain in WCW. That's another wrestling company that was big at the time. He became Hollywood Hogan, wore black instead of red and yellow, and helped create the NWO, the New World Order. It was one of the most talked about twists in wrestling history. People went crazy. Now, even after he stopped wrestling full-time, Hulk Hogan stayed in the spotlight. He'd make special appearances. He was part of the WWE Hall of Fame, and he stayed a fan favorite no matter what. People loved seeing him pop up during big events. It brought back memories of childhood, of simpler times when wrestling was all about the drama, the fun, and the action. So when the news broke that he passed away, it hit hard. TMZ reported it this morning, and within minutes, social media was flooded with reactions. Wrestlers, fans, celebrities, all paying their respects. You could feel how much he meant to people. Now what's really touching is how people aren't just talking about him as a wrestler. They're sharing stories of how he inspired them. Some people said they started working out because of Hulk Hogan. Others said they learned to stand up for themselves because of what he said in his promos. Some folks said they'd watch wrestling with their parents or grandparents, and Hulk Hogan was always their favorite. So his passing, it's not just the end of a career, it's the end of an era. Even people who never met him are feeling this loss. That shows you the power of what Hulk did. He was more than a wrestler. He was part of people's lives. He made them laugh, cheer, cry, and believe in themselves. Now, if you're younger and maybe don't know much about him, this might not hit the same, but imagine someone who was the biggest star in their sport. Like, picture a mix of The Rock, John Cena, and even LeBron James, all rolled into one. And that's kind of what Hulk Hogan was in his prime. That's why his death is such a big deal. He changed the game. So what happens now? Well, a lot of fans are already asking for a tribute show. WWE will probably do something big to honor him. Maybe a video package showing his greatest moments. Maybe even a statue or a match dedicated to him. You can expect wrestling fans around the world to be wearing red and yellow again. just like back in the day. There are also talks of some cities lowering flags, and even some buildings lighting up in Hulk's colors. That's how massive his impact was. This wasn't just someone famous, this was someone legendary. And let's be real for a second. Hulk Hogan wasn't perfect. No one is. But even with the ups and downs in his personal life, the love people had for him as a performer never really went away. That's a rare kind of connection. So today, we remember Hulk Hogan, not just for the matches, the muscles, or the mustache. We remember him for the memories, for the times we jumped off the couch trying to copy his leg drop, for the moments we believed we could be heroes too. That's what Hulk gave the world. So rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for being one of the greatest to ever step into the ring. And as you would say, what you gonna do when the spirit of Hulkamania runs wild on you? If you grew up watching him, or if this video brought back memories, drop a comment and share your favorite Hulk Hogan moment. Let's keep the legacy alive. And if you learned something new today, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. We've got more stories like this coming your way. See you in the next one.